Welcome, listeners, to Equestrian Voice, where you matter, and I think I've used this intro before. Whoops. Oh, I just made it unique by saying that. Okay, screw this. Anyway, I'm your host, Silver. With me is Foxum today.
Yo.
Anyways, today we have another person here who is interview J. Anyway, so person, your name.
My name is Warmonger.
I'm going to assume that's your handle.
Yeah.
You want to tell us how you got that, real quick?
Oh, yeah. I play a game called Civilization 5, and how I always controlled the world was dominating every other civilization, and the few civilizations that I decided to be diplomatic with always called me a warmongering menace to the world. Took off the ing, and there you go.
Huh. Seems like if you're trying to be diplomatic with someone, you wouldn't call them names.
I know, right?
But that's just me. And, so, Warmonger, how would the fandom describe you? Like a brony, clopper, any sort of title they would hand off to you?
Well, I mean, in general, I'm a brony, of course, but more specifically, I am a clopper.
Huh, okay. Well, at least you're out straight with it.
Yeah, I find that honesty is the best policy.
Probably. Anyways, so, keeping it not explicit, do you have any hobbies you like to do outside of the show?
Okay, outside of the show, I really love volunteering in my community, hanging around with my friends at school afterwards, and I'm part of a gaming club at my school where I'm game with a lot of really cool people, and we are ranked second in the state of Kentucky.
And, see, people, all cloppers do not go outside and murder people when they're not clopping. They're normal people most of the time.
I don't even clop. Technically, I don't even clop. I just like looking at the clop.
Well, then I guess you're
You're
technically
really
not
a clopper.
Yeah.
There's not really a technicality for what I'm called, so I just identify myself as a clopper.
All right. Anyways, real quick, how would you describe yourself in 2 to 3 sentences?
Well, I seem on the outside to be an evil, menacing guy. Although once people get to know me, I am a caring person who will always have your back no matter what, unless you really mess up. And if you mess with me, then I don't help you. That's simple enough, I guess.
So a normal kind of guy with, what is it called? Eye for eye? Eye for an eye?
Well, I prefer to think of it as protective instincts. I've had to, since a very young age, protect my family. So, it's kind of grown from that.
Alright, and so, since you kind of answered my next question, I'll just skip to the final one. If you would like to, you don't have to, pick out the most favorite thing about yourself and let us know what it is.
My most favorite thing about me is my intelligence. It has got me so much already. I mean, I'm only a sophomore and I'm already getting letters from colleges. It's going to provide me a really bright future, and I'm really excited.
Alright, Fox, anything to offer?
No, but you sound like a really good guy to be with.
Thank
For
you.
a second, I thought you were going to make a stereotypical joke.
Well, he does sound kind of straight out of the anime.
What?
An anime? No, he doesn't.
Okay.
I haven't heard one kawaii thing from him.
I don't even.
Fan.
I'm not even a big fan of anime.
Fair enough. Anyways, Fox, I'll let you take on the next section of questions. All the basic questions about the show and such.
Alright. Well, how'd you become a brony?
I mean, my story is definitely not unique. I know I was not the first to experience it, and I'm definitely not the last. How I became a brony is through my friend Cody. My friend Cody, who I was gaming with for a couple of months, and all of a sudden I looked over at his avatar and I saw it was a pink pony. Pinkie Pie, I later found out. And, well, I decided to question him what it was, and at first I hated bronies. I figured they were just a bunch of, closet homosexuals, and boy was I ever wrong. So one day when I went home sick, I decided to give the show a try because nothing else was on. First show I ever watched was the Super Speedy Cider Squeezer 6000, and I absolutely loved it.
Try saying that 5 times fast.
I know.
now you're a brony. You're not even just a brony. You watch a show. What's your favorite part of the show?
My favorite part of the show is, I know my answer again, it's not going to be very original, is the innocence of the show. And again, that's very weird coming from a clopper, but it's the innocence of the show. It brings back a certain childhood quality that I never really got to experience.
You might want to watch that feeling as you grow up. Could turn out something weird.
Yeah, of course.
Well, so do you have a favorite character though?
It's always hard to pick a favorite pony just because I love them all equally. But if I had to pick one, I would pick Vinyl Scratch.
That is
I can
the
live with that.
wisest choice. That is the wisest choice.
But not love, right? Just love.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Fine, ruin my joke. See what I care.
Oh, you're making a clobber reference. I can't say I would want to fuck a horse. Excuse my language.
No, that's fine. You can swear, just don't explicitly describe things.
Yes, of course. I already know.
Well, do you do for the fandom?
I was not born with a hand to draw. I never was a really good drawer. Best I could do is stick figure. So, with my intelligence God has given me, I've been able to write really descriptive fan fictions and different stuff for my friends, and I'm just now starting to post them on FIM Fiction and all that. And I try to spread the brony word when I can, like when I'm volunteering in my community. When people ask me, what's your name, I just say, I'm just one anonymous brony. I'd rather, like me and my friend Brony, I try to see the fandom as a Red Cross sort of organization. Like, we help people and we don't expect anything in return. Just because that's what, we've come to learn from the show.
Alright, everyone, take a moment to write that down, because that's important.
Good, because we're going on to the next question. What do you write about?
You name it. I usually just write for friends and what they request. I write anything from Clop to Grimdark to normal.
So you said you post this mostly on Fim?
Well, I just now started posting. I've posted one or two, and that hasn't been within the last month, so yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll get a link later.
Yeah.
So you kind of like a commission writer? Or you you probably do it for free, but...
I do it for free for my friends, and I have never commissioned one. I've never had anybody try to commission me. Again, I'm just starting out on it. I've only wrote about 12. I'm still really rough at it, but as soon as I get to refine it down and get my Microsoft Word working again, then I should be pretty good at it.
So you take requests?
Yeah, I really do.
Do you have anything in the works at the moment?
Yeah, I have a quap fic, a quap fic for my friend Nick. It's Velvet Remedy and Little Pip from Fallout Equestria.
We'll probably not get into that.
Yeah, I'd rather not, just because of...
Probably a good idea. Anyways, so when you're writing these, do you draw inspiration from anywhere in the fandom?
Yeah. I usually draw inspiration from, especially when I'm writing Grimdark fics, I draw inspiration from Rainbow Factory, great works by Tombstone, Wooden Toaster, they give me great inspiration. When it comes down to normal and Clop, I don't usually get inspiration. I usually just think of that off the top of my very dirty head.
Interesting to know, for slightly different reasons.
Did you ever get any inspiration from a very famous sergeant?
What sergeant?
Sergeant Sprinkles?
I can't say I have. Although, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have got any inspiration.
Other than what you've already said.
Yeah, other than for what I said.
So, where can we find your fics?
I really don't. That's the point about being anonymous right now. I really don't want too much publicity. Even though if I never wanted publicity, I should have never signed up for this. But
Probably not the best idea. No.
I'd rather not get my publicity from y'all. I mean, as much as it would be an honor, it's just that I would rather my fix be clicked on for pure interest of them, rather than, oh, let's go check this out from a description,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I can see where you're going with that, I guess.
It's again, it's nothing against y'all. It's just to the point being that,
Well, is there anybody you would like to promote?
Yes. In fact, there is somebody I'd like to promote. His name is Brony, and he wrote a book, and it's basically what I call the hand guide for bronies and Pegasisters and just general people who want to know about the show. It's called True Heart Brony, A Definition of Love and Tolerance. It's a great book. I'm even mentioned in there at the very beginning. It talks about everything from the elements of harmony, and what they truly mean, down to the types of bronies there are. It's a great book for when you are, if you're a brony and you want to know more about the fandom, then it's a great book. And even if you're not a brony or a Pegasister and you just kind of like, I wonder what this fandom's about,
Interesting. Well, you answered quite a few of the questions from the next, music, Living Tombstone. But if there's anything that you'd really like to call out favorite besides that book that you really enjoy, so it could be like a charity or a different podcast, which you shouldn't mention or we'll attack you, but anything that you really feel deserves attention.
There is something I feel deserves attention. Excuse me. Excuse me. There is a charity that has been started, as I believe there's probably been many out from the Brony fandom, and my friend Brony Inc. Signed up as to be one of the prizes, and you donate to this charity. I do believe the charity is called Seeds of Kindness. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's a great charity. It's basically started from what I was talking about earlier. Just anonymous bronies out to do good.
So, we've been through most of the important stuff, I'd like to think. But back to the fact you said you do a lot of charities. Do you want to expand on that at all? Or a lot of community work, sorry.
I always head down, it's usually on weekends. I usually go down to the local old folks home, which is called St. Mary's and something, I can't remember. But I always head down there. I always like visiting the seniors. Without them, without the greatest generation, we would have never won World War II. We would never be here, and if we were, we'd be speaking German, or God forbid, Japanese.
Okay, I can handle German. I could even enjoy speaking German, but not Japanese.
Oh yeah, I love speaking German. I know a bit. Anyway.
No racism intended.
Yeah, no racism intended. Then my city has recently started a Habitat for Humanity. Excuse me, again, stuttering a lot. I have been trying to volunteer down there. It's just the only point being is the only days that I'm able to volunteer down there is Saturday. And I'd rather work with the old folks down at the old folks home than build houses, just because if there's not people like me visiting them, nobody visits them, which is a disgrace, because these wonderful members of society have so much to talk about and no one to talk about with,
I can understand that. Anyways, we're just about out of time, unfortunately. So we're going to wrap this up real quick with a twist. If there's any question that you want to ask me or Fox, now will be the time.
Yeah, I actually do have one. How did y'all, since y'all asked me, how did y'all get into the fandom?
When I was back at school, my two friends watched the show. They weren't avidly into it, but I would constantly catch them at their computers with it, where they would hurriedly close it down, because I'm known for being pretty judgmental outside of the fandom. So one day, they made me watch an episode, and I was like, alright, this is good.
Yeah, that's, again, everybody knows that feeling, man.
Well, basically, how I got in is I was linked to Cryospawn's videos. I was like, what's this? And I watched a few and was like, that was pretty funny. And I forgot about it. and then it started popping up everywhere, and I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. And I like, what is the show? And I looked over around, and I found out that it was My Little Pony. And I was like, no, that can't be right. I literally did a double take to make sure I got the name of the show right, and then I started watching it. All goes uphill from there.
Anyways, everyone, this was Equestrian Voice with me, Silver, and Foxon.
These people don't know how to contact us. How do they contact us if they want to be interviewed?
Oh, are we going to do a clever description without using an actual description? Alright, guys, if you want to contact us, if you want to get on the show, email us at equestrianvoicecrew, spelled C-R-U-E, but just email us there. If you want to get interviewed, that's the only way to get on, because we won't accept applications from anywhere else if you see us anywhere else. Goodbye, everyone. See you next time. Super Skies,
Goodbye.
signing off.
Goodbye.
See y'all.